Welcome to FM 100 WNOX.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Good afternoon.
I'm Catherine Howell. I am here with our candidates for Knox County Commission, District 5, Seat C.
Correct.
So, independent, Don Sproles, am I correct on that?
That is correct.
And Republican, Mr. Briggs, Richard Briggs.
Dr. Briggs.
Dr. Briggs, I apologize. All right, well, I'm going to start off with the question, like I said, that I have asked just about everyone, and that's, why do you want the job?
Well, Catherine, wanting it may be the wrong word, but I feel that with the things that have occurred over the last year and a half, that we really needed good people to step up to bring good government back to the citizens of Knox County. I had discussions with a lot of folks, and they agreed that I could be one of those persons, that I am one of those persons, and I was persuaded to run. And I think we need to bring some sensibility and some professionalism back to a county commission.
Mr. Briggs, how about yourself, Dr. Briggs? I want to keep doing it the whole time.
I expect my father to answer when you say that, so you'll have to excuse me if I don't say anything. I have some of the similar reasons for wanting to run. I think if we look at our county, we're poised on the verge of a breakout if we can do the right things. In the county, we have a world-class national laboratory at Oak Ridge. We have some of the cheapest, most abundant, and most reliable power in TVA. We have a much better than average school system in the county, and we have a great university. And I think if we can provide the leadership for the county, we have the opportunity from becoming a good American community where families want to live to becoming one of the greatest American cities with good leadership.
You were appointed and have been holding this seat for some time. Any surprises? What have you thought about the service thus far?
Well, I think it's been a surprise because I've not served in public office before. I shouldn't say a surprise. It's been a learning experience, and it's been an interesting learning experience. And some people might expect me to say, well, it's been awful because we've had these 11-hour meetings. But what I've really found is that even if we're listening to some of what may appear to be mundane budget discussions that go on for 11 hours, or we're listening to some of these different audits that the mayor's had, I find myself very interested in what's going on. And I'm looking forward to serving another 2 years and then perhaps even running for another 4 years after that. But I've enjoyed the experience thus far, and really there's been no disappointments, but just a lot of learning.
What are your thoughts on it? I mean, in a lot of ways, you know, you're an independent, and this would all be new to you. What is it that you think would be a challenge, and what would you bring to the table as a new commissioner?
Well, all of the issues that we face are going to be a challenge because we face some serious budgetary issues that will continue to need close scrutiny over the next year as we work under the budget that was adopted last month. So the challenges, the learning curve, as Richard pointed out, when you get on commission, there is a learning curve that you're going to have, trying to get up to speed on all the issues. I've been watching, can't say I've been to all the meetings, but I have watched on TV most all of them, or gotten the CDs and watched, and trying to stay current. What do I bring to the table? That's sort of the different side of the coin. I think with my background as an attorney, as a small businessman, that I bring an analytical mind to the table. I bring a knowledge of a lot of the folks that are there because I've been downtown 30 years, and I understand some of the personalities involved, I think, already. And as an independent, I believe I bring a voice that will be clearer, perhaps, than the parties or the factions of the parties that have been found to exist.
Now, a lot of people have said, hey, we need to move on, we need to move on, we need to move on. But at the same time, I have covered the county commission meetings, whether it be watching the overwhelmingly long tape or sitting there for the entirety of the marathon. But very much of it has been spent on the mayor. It's been spent on audits in the mayor's office and where to go now. So I want to ask each of you what you think should happen regarding Mayor Ragsdale. Where do we go from here?
I think right now the process has started with the citizen complaint, and the Attorney General is looking at that. I think County Commission would be better served by working on the business of the county and allowing the other groups that have been duly appointed to take care of whatever needs to be done. But we have problems. Audits have shown that. But I think they've been dwelled on too much. You know, it can be talked about so long, and then it just becomes redundancy. So let the people appointed take care of those things and bring reports back, and let county commission take care of the business and the things that the county needs to do. There's a lot of positive things that need to happen, and we need to quit dwelling on the negativity.
I think there's a total of 4 audits. We have the travel audit and the P-card audit that's behind us. We still have the hospitality fund audit that's coming up, and we have the grants audit, which is a relatively small one compared to the others. I think that what we've done by hiring our own attorney on the commission is probably good, because we really don't know how to look at some of these issues. We don't know what questions to ask. And one of the things that I was disappointed in at both the P-card and travel audit, there did not appear to be a coherent process of looking at this. And I think by having an outside attorney do it and really speaking for us, we'll be able to ask questions, but we'll be able to work through the process in a more coherent manner. When that's finished, we need to put it behind us. The mayor has 2 more years. The members that are elected to the commission will have 2 more years, and we've got some very, very important business to do rather than squabbling with the mayor. We've got the future of the county. We've got a new superintendent of schools that we need to work with. I really look at the situation as not being one of dire and gloom, but one of opportunity because of so many changes that are occurring. This will be the first time in the past 2 years that we'll have an elected commission rather than appointees on there. And with the audits behind us, I think we could use this as a springboard to do some significant things the last 2 years of the mayor's term and the 2 years remaining on the commission term.
I want to talk a little bit about schools. As a parent, that's obviously the most important thing to me, and I think that's to a lot of people when they start to decide whether or not to come to Knox County, whether or not to build in Knox County, whether or not to start a business here, is that they're going to look at the qualities of schools here. Where do you think we stand? How do we improve, especially at a time when we're talking budget cuts?
Well, first of all, we have a good school system now. On national tests, we score above average for the state, and we score above average for the United States. But that's not good enough. Is what we need to do. We need to move to the next step. What we need to prepare our students for is not just to compete with other students in the state of Tennessee or other students in the United States. We're competing against the world today. We're competing against students from China, Japan, Korea that are outperforming us, especially in math and science. And if you look at where the jobs of the future are going to be and where the opportunities for the future are going to be, it's probably going to be in technology. And the students today have to have the math and science background in order to compete. Now, what do we need to do? I think there's some things that the school board is doing that's very positive. They have their 100, 90, 90, 90 policy where they're trying to get 90% of the students to graduate, 90% to take the ACT, 90% to score over 21. And we need to get those students either into technical schools to develop further skills, or we need to have them going on and developing the skills for the future that they can use for their jobs. What we can do on the commission, we do not set policy, and that's something that many citizens don't understand. It's the school board that sets the policies and procedures that are followed, but what the commission is, they're the funding agency for the school board. So we have to, through our funding, give them the tools they need to develop the programs to educate our students for the future.
I agree with Richard in regards to the